thrilled to be here. We're talking about focus and discipline. And I'm so happy that there are so many self-development junkies in here like me. This is something that I've loved to do for many years, but I made a very common mistake, and I see it happening a lot. For a very long time, I thought that I could put enough pressure on myself and have enough anxiety that it would lead me to being more focused and productive. For a long time, I was trying to hate myself happy, criticize myself thin, shame myself wealthy. I looked at my critical voice and self-talk, and I felt kind of proud of it, to be honest. I thought, if I can just be hard on myself, then I can kick my butt into gear and finally get that focus that I want. And this is the tricky thing about stress and pressure, is that it actually works for a very short time. If we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, we're feeling a lot of stress, we'll have that buildup of pressure and we'll take action. And for a short time, we're going to stay focused, right? We're going to get it done. But then what happens? We find ourselves sabotaging ourselves. We sabotage our own success. We get exhausted. We get distracted because our action is being fueled by pain and not by purpose and desire. And so I was doing this over and over again, this cycle. Be hard on myself, be critical, push myself forward, take action, be a little focused, self-sabotage. Einstein says that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And I had to be honest with myself and realize that my strategy was insane. And it's really hard to wake up to this because, like I mentioned, it does work for short bursts. But if we're looking for long-term focus, for long-term momentum, we need to take a different approach. And to do that, it's important to look at some of the blocks around focus and discipline. And that is what we're going to be doing here. So one of the biggest blocks, block number one, is self-sabotage through procrastination. And this is what I see happening all of the time. And some of us think like, oh, this is just a character default, but none of you were born and no doctor ever said, congratulations, you have a procrastinator. It's not something that we're born with. It's not who we are. It is a symptom of something else. Procrastination and self-sabotage are misguided self-love. You're putting so much pressure on yourself to focus and to get things done that after a while you feel depleted and you feel burnt out. And suddenly that self-sabotage is a way to experience a sort of self-love. It's a way to take a break. If you never give yourself an easy way to take a break, if you never allow yourself to be fueled by passion instead of pain, you'll always turn to that self-sabotage. And so if we look at self-sabotage as misguided self-love, what it allows us to do is, first of all, we have a little more compassion for ourselves. We can be a little easier on ourselves. And we can take a step back and begin to look closer to understand what's really going on below the surface. Your subconscious mind has one focus, which is to keep you safe. All it wants is safety. And what's safe? Certainty, what's familiar, staying the same. Sometimes being stuck and miserable feels safer than getting focused and moving forward. Everything is about safety. And so I look at my purpose and my passion is to help other people's hearts know that it's safe to change. If you feel safe to dive into something and to commit, you're better able to do that. And so we have to take a step back and look at what are some of the beliefs that may be keeping us stuck and frozen. How can we begin to feel more ease and more safety around taking a chance? Because focus and discipline is about taking a chance. It's about diving in. It's about trying something new. It's about commitment. And that can seem very scary. So a great question to ask yourself in order to look below the surface is what's the downside of being focused and getting this done? And usually when I ask someone, they're like, no, there is no downside. This is all I want. All I want is to have more energy, more focus, and to get it done. But when we really slow down and we look at that self-sabotage, we look at the times where we know what to do, but we just aren't doing it, we might reveal and discover some limiting beliefs. So from working with thousands of people through using tapping, some common beliefs are, if I really focus and get disciplined, it means that I won't have time for my family. Now, this community, that's not how we roll. We know that this isn't just about achievement, that this is about quality of life. BRENDON makes that clear. But there is something different between logically knowing something and your body knowing it and truly believing it. Sometimes we tell ourselves something, but we still feel that fear in our body. We can be so positive, we can say all the right things, but we have that tightness in our chest when we want to start. We have that fear in the pit of our stomach. And this is why I love tapping, because it is a tool that uses the mind and body. It's about helping the mind and body be congruent so you can move forward with more ease. Because when you have a negative thought, it's not an experience that you just have in your mind. Like I said, you're feeling it with your whole body. So it's important to address the physical aspect of those beliefs. So some common beliefs, like I said, one is, if I'm disciplined and focused, I won't have time for my family. I worked with a client once when she looked at her procrastination and she said, if I never get it done, it'll never be criticized. Think about that. If you never fully focus and get something completed, then you can't fail because you're always in that limbo. And so we have to feel some safety to focus, to try, and to fail, and to be disappointed. We have to be okay with making mistakes to have the courage to move forward. What's another one? What's the downside of getting focused? The downside is if it doesn't work out, then it proves that I'm not good enough, right? So you want to get clear on what are some of those fears underneath it. Another example, I worked with a client once who she remembered that when she was a kid, she really got focused. She studied for this test and she got an amazing grade. And she ran home and she couldn't wait to tell her mom. She told her mom and her mom said, hush, you're going to make your sister upset, because her sister was struggling in school. And so suddenly she creates this belief that my success makes other people feel bad. And so she was always sabotaging herself and stopping herself. If you have a community of friends who always complain about finances or their weight or whatever it is, and suddenly you achieve that thing, will you then feel left out, like you don't belong anymore? Now, I'm giving you these examples so that you can begin to explore and simply reflect. Maybe something comes up, maybe it doesn't. But the key here is to give ourselves an opportunity to realize, what are some of the beliefs that are keeping me stuck, that are keeping me playing small, that are keeping me from focusing?
This can be your day for personal growth. This can be that day you committed to and you remember and you go, that was the day I got myself a community. I got better coaches. I committed to making my life the absolute best that I could. This is that day. Make today your growth day. Click the button on this page and sign up right now.